Hello students, as in the last lecture, we saw the sums based on type number 7, that is integral u into v, that is integration by part, where we took more than 3-4 example based on the type number 7. We took one example based on two different pair where we saw algebraical product of algebraical and trigo, then algebraical and logarithm, algebraical exponential also we did, and in the last part, in the last example, we took one example where we saw a pair of algebraical and inverse. So in the last lecture we took one example, it was x into tan inverse. So in this lecture we're gonna see x into sine inverse and x into cos inverse. So in the last lecture also, before dealing with the sum x into tan inverse, I had explained some concept based on that. As I told, whenever you come across a quadratic upon quadratic, I hope you all might be knowing. Okay, in the last video I had explained that part. If you come across like quadratic upon quadratic, what exactly you have to do the adjustment in the sum. So same thing here also. Before dealing with this, we'll see a small concept based on this. Whenever you come across like this, a quadratic upon quadratic, but here it is quadratic upon root quadratic. In tan inverse x into tan inverse, it was quadratic upon quadratic. Okay, and then I had explained how to do the adjustment whenever it is a quadratic upon quadratic and we don't have a separate type like this quadratic upon quadratic. We don't have a separate type. Okay, so in the last lecture I had explained the adjustment part, how to solve and how to integrate your sum. So here also, before the sum, we'll see a concept that whenever you come across like this quadratic upon root quadratic, so what exactly you have to do. Okay, so here we'll see now how to solve quadratic upon root quadratic. Again, here we don't have a separate type like this quadratic upon root quadratic. Okay, so whenever you come across like this minus x square upon root 1 minus x square into dx, or if minus is inside, if we bring this minus inside. Okay, so exactly we'll see now how to proceed the sum further for this types of sum. So first thing will be what adjustment you will do here. Again, same as I had explained in the previous sum, if it is in the form of quadratic and quadratic upon quadratic, what adjustment you have to do. Okay, here you will write as here minus x square it is same, so here we have to do the adjustment like this, plus 1 minus 1, yes or no, plus 1 and minus 1. The same thing we had did in the last, for the last sum also. Okay, so see the adjustment here, minus x squared is there, so we required plus 1, and see to it that do the adjustment of the numerator in a such a way that you should get the previous step, as here plus 1 minus 1 will get cancelled and you will get the previous step. Understood? Okay, now after this what you will do, I equals to, will keep this first section in one bracket. So can I write this as 1 minus x square, minus x square plus 1, and 1 minus x square, it is 1 and the same, and minus 1 separately. Okay, and root 1 minus x square into dx. So remember this, whenever you come across quadratic upon quadratic, so you have to do this adjustment for the numerator. Simply what you will do, you will do plus 1 and minus 1, then separate and then integrate the sum. Okay, got the point? So here also for this sum also I am doing the same thing, plus 1 and minus 1, and then in one bracket I wrote the same part, yes or no, and one separately. Then after this we can separate the denominator. So here you will get what, 1 minus x square upon root 1 minus x square into dx minus 1 upon root 1 minus x square into dx. Understood? Okay, so now listen here. As we know that the derivative of sine inverse is what? 1 upon root 1 minus x square. Yes or no? Derivative of sine inverse is what? 1 upon root 1 minus x square. And integration of 1 upon root 1 minus x square will be what? Sine inverse. They are the vice versa, yes or no? If derivative of sine inverse is 1 upon root 1 minus x square, so integration of 1 upon root 1 minus x square will be what? Sine inverse. Got the point? Okay. So here can I say that here integration of 1 upon root 1 minus x square, integration of 1 upon root 1 minus x square, directly we can see that we will get here what? Sine inverse. Yes or no? Sine inverse. But what about this section? Okay, so now I will solve this part separately. Okay, listen here. 1 minus x square upon root 1 minus x square into dx. So now suppose I will replace this section by some number. Suppose if I take uh, some number like I will replace this whole section by x. This whole section by x. So whenever you come across like this x upon root x, can I write this x upon root x as directly as root x? Can I write this x upon root x as directly at root x? Yes. Why? See here. X upon root x rationalize, so root x upon root x. So this we will get what? X into root x upon root x. Root x is what? X. So x will get cancelled and you will get the root x. So whenever you come across and you see that the numerator and the denominator section is same and the denominator section it is in root, so the answer, the final answer, when you will rationalize, you will get this answer. So can I say in the next step what will be the answer? It will be minus root 1 minus x square into dx, as when you will rationalize with this root, this part will get cancelled and you will left with 1 minus x square into dx. Got the point? So that only I had explained here. So whenever you come across like this, when you see same term and in the denominator it is in root, so directly this step we can write as what? Root 1 minus x square. And I hope you all understood how we got this root 1 minus x square. Simply rationalize the numerator and denominator by this root 1 minus x square, you will get this answer. Got the point? And then minus 1 upon root 1 minus x square into dx. Okay, so here the final step we'll see now. As this section, this part look like the type number 3a formula. Look like type number 3a formula. Okay, so one is a number and this is a variable. So we'll consider this one as a and this as x. So here we can see that integration of root a square minus x square. So here 1 we can write as 1 square, yes or no? So a square minus x square into dx is what? X by 2, yes or no? It is x by 2 root a square minus x square. That means the same question it will come, 1 minus x square. Then here it is what? Plus, then a square upon 2. A square, what is there in place of a? It is 1. So 1 square is 1 upon 2. Yes or no? 1 upon 2. Then sine inverse x by a, sine inverse x by a. What is there in place of x? It is x only. By a is what? 1. Done with this integral section, yes or no? Then we'll write minus. And what is the direct integration of 1 upon root 1 minus x square? We know that it is sine inverse. Integration for both the section is over, so here we can write as what? Plus c. I hope you all understood how to track the sum, how to present the sum. Yes or no? Further, we can do this little adjustment. We'll keep this x upon 2 root 1 minus x square as it is. Okay. So when you will see this part of sine inverse x upon 1 is sine inverse x minus sine inverse. Okay, so here nothing is there, so we can write 1, cross it. So this will be what? Sine inverse x minus 2 sine inverse x upon 2. So here sine inverse x minus 2 sine inverse x, as they are the like terms, so we can separate, we can add the numbers, yes or no? So here you will get what? Minus, as here nothing is there, so coefficient will be what? 1. So 1 sine square minus 2 sine square, you will get what? Minus 1 sine inverse 1 sine inverse and minus plus 1 sine inverse and minus 2 sine inverse, you will get minus 1 sine inverse upon 2. So this part we can write directly as minus 1 upon 2 sine inverse x plus c. So in this way you will present your sum whenever you come across like this quadratic upon root quadratic. I hope you all understood each and every step, and even this step also, how I wrote this 1 minus x square upon root 1 minus x square as root 1 minus x square by rationalizing. So same technique will be using now in this sum. So let's begin with the sum now. So according to the property as the order, it says that LIATE. So here inverse come first and algebraical second. So here inverse will be u and algebraical will be v. So here first we'll write sine inverse x into x. So this part will consider as u according to the serial order. I come first and a come second. So first come first we have to consider as u. Okay, so now we'll apply the formula. So what is the formula? It says that u, okay, into integration of v minus integration, then derivative of u, okay, then integration of v box and this dx. So therefore I equals to sine inverse integration of x is what? Integration of x is x square upon 2. As here nothing is there, so we can write 1 and we can apply x raised to n formula, yes or no? Minus integration sine inverse, derivative of sine inverse, just now only we saw derivative of sine inverse is what? 1 upon root 1 minus x square. It is 1 upon root 1 minus x square into integration of x will be what? X square upon 2 into dx. So therefore I will be equals to what? Sine inverse x into x square upon 2. As here 1 upon 2, we can see that it is a constant, so we can bring outside the integral. So here we left with what? X square upon root 1 minus x square into dx. So just now only we saw how to solve this integration quadratic upon root quadratic, yes or no? But here it was minus, yes or no? So can I write the next step like this? Sine inverse into x square upon 2 plus, will bring this minus inside, So minus x square upon root 1 minus x square. Can we do this step? Because this plus minus will be what, minus only, yes or no? Got the point? So now the next procedure will be same as I had explained here. The same step you have to follow here also. So your sine inverse x into x square upon 2 plus 1 upon 2. Okay, integration. So here we'll do the adjustment. What, plus 1 minus 1 upon root 1 minus x square into dx, yes or no? Therefore I equals to sine inverse x into x square upon 2 plus 1 upon 2. Okay, we'll write this one section in the one bracket. Okay, further we'll separate the denominator. Okay, so when you will separate the denominator, so here you will get what, 1 minus x square upon root 1 minus x square, 1 minus 1 upon root 1 minus x square into dx, yes or no? Got the point? So the remaining part will solve here. I equals to sine inverse x square upon 2 plus 1 upon 2. As here I had explained, whenever you come across like this, so directly we can write as what, 1 minus x square upon root 1 minus x square. When you will rationalize, so directly here you will get what, root 1 minus x square, minus 1 upon root 1 minus x square will keep as it is. Okay, so therefore I equals to sine inverse x into x square upon 2 plus 1 upon 2 keep as it is. Okay, so we'll separate the integral. So here you will get root 1 minus x square into dx minus 1 upon root 1 minus x square into dx. Okay, as here we have two separate term, so we'll split the integral also. Okay, and this 1 upon 2, it is common for both the sections, so we'll write outside the box only. So sine inverse x square upon 2 1 upon 2. So this is in the form of what, a square minus x square formula, and we know that what is a square minus x square formula, it is x upon a, sorry, it is x upon 2, so x upon 2, the same question will come, then plus a square upon 2, that means 1 upon 2, sine inverse x upon a, so here x will come, minus integration 1 upon root 1 minus x square is direct integral of sine inverse, yes or no, and then plus c. As we had integrate each and every term with respect to x and integration is removed, so therefore we can write plus c. So the final step here we can write as what, I equals to sine inverse x into x square upon 2 plus 1 upon 2 x by 2 root 1 minus x square. Just now only here I had explained how to solve this part. So where you will get what, minus 1 upon 2 sine inverse. When you cross this section, you will get minus 1 upon 2 sine inverse. So when you will solve this two section, you will get minus 1 upon 2 sine inverse x plus c. Okay, so the last part, if you want, you can bracket open with this 1 upon 2. So here you will get x square upon 2 into sine inverse x. So bracket open, so here this will be x by 4 root 1 minus x square plus minus minus 1 ones are 1 and 2 2 side is 4 sine inverse x plus c. I think further we cannot do any adjustment. If you want, 1 upon 2 is the common, it is on you. Okay, see to it that if you extend the step, do the step properly and correctly. Okay, so that's the end of the sum. If you stop here also, you will get full marks. I hope you all understood the sum. and even the adjustment part also, how to do the adjustment and how to integrate the sum further. So here we have one more sum in front of you. Your sine inverse is replaced by cos inverse. So if you want, you can try this sum by yourself. Okay, so please try the second sum by yourself. The same technique and same concept will come there also. So I hope you all understood the integral x into tan inverse as well as x into sine inverse also. So let's move on to one more example based on the type number 7, that is integral u into v only. So the next sum is what? Integral e raised to 2x into cos 3x. So according to the serial order, trigo come first and then exponential. So we'll take trigo as u and exponential as v. So we can write this as cos 3x into e raised to 2x. This as u and this as v. Yes or no? So you have to follow the rules. You have to follow the serial. Okay. So whichever the alphabet come first, you have to consider that alphabet as that section as u and the second section as v only. Okay. So now we'll start with our sum. So I equals to, we'll apply the formula. So here you will get what? Cos 3x integral, as this sum is little different. So what is the different and what is the change here? We'll see in the sum itself only. Okay. So your cos inverse cos 3x into e raised to 2x into dx, u into integration of v minus integral d upon dx of cos 3x into integration e raised to 2x into dx into dx. Okay. So next will be what? This will be same as it is. And we know that integration of e raised to 2x will be e raised to 2x upon 2. Yes or no? Minus derivative of cos. Derivative of cos, we know that it is minus sine 3x. Derivative of cos is minus sine 3x and derivative of 3x will be what? 3. So here directly we can write as what? Derivative of cos 3x, when you will apply the chain rule, you will get minus 3 sine 3x. Understood? You must know this basic things. Okay, basic derivative, basic chain rule is what? Then integration of e raised to 2x will be e raised to 2x upon 2 into dx. So further this we can write as cos 3x into e raised to 2x upon 2. Yes or no? So this minus minus we can write as plus 3 upon 2. There is a number we can, so we can bring that number outside the integral. So here we left with sine 3x into e raised to 2x into dx. Okay, so the sum is not over, still it is pending. So exactly when you will see, when you will focus on this part, again there are two terms in the integral section, and here we have two different pair. One is trigo and one is exponential. And whenever you come across like this two different pair, one is trigo and one is exponential, again you have to apply the formula, that is u into v, integration per part. So according to the serial order, trigo come first and then exponential. So here again we have to solve this section as u into v only. So now, so we'll solve that part inside the box as 3 upon 2. It is common for both. So we'll take this 3 upon 2 outside the box and we'll apply the formula now. So sine 3x into integral e raised to 2x into dx, that means u into integral of v minus integral d upon dx of sine 3x into integration e raised to 2x into dx. This dx closed. Yes or no? So cos 3, I hope you all understood the sum till here. Okay. E raised to 2x upon 2 plus 3 upon 2. So the sine 3x will be same. integration of e raised to 2x will be e raised to 2x upon 2. Yes or no? Derivative of sine inverse, derivative of sine inverse, derivative of sine inverse, derivative of sine inverse, sorry, derivative of sine 3x, derivative of sine 3x will be what? Cos 3x, but derivative of 3x will be what? 3. Then into e raised to 2x will be what? Integration of e raised to 2x, it will be e raised to 2x upon 2. Yes or no? Then into this dx box. Then therefore next will be what? Cos 3x into e raised to 2x upon 2 plus 3 by 2. So this will be sine 3x into e raised to 2x upon 2 minus, here also we can see 3 upon 2 is a number, so we can bring that outside the integral. So cos 3x into e raised to 2x into dx. Okay, still the sum it is pending, as again we can see that here we have integral, two different pair, one is trig, one is exponential. Again it look like what? U into v. So this process, whenever you come across the sum like this, exponential and trig, the process will go, the loop will be continuous, the loop will not break. So here we have to try to break the loop. If you don't break the loop, so what will happen? Again you have to solve this section as u into v. So somewhere you will get again sine 3x into e raised to 2x. Again you have to solve that section as u into v. So this process will continue, so we have to break the loop, we have to break the chain. So now we'll see how to break the chain. It is very simple. So here how to break the chain, when you will focus on this part, this section, this complete section, so can I say this complete section look like what? I, that question only. So integral cos 3x into e raised to 3x, actually it is what? I. So how to break the chain? It is very simple here. So simply what you will do, if you want to break the chain, if you don't break the chain, so this loop will continues. So first you will get sine, then cos, then sine, then cos. The loop will continues. To break the chain, to break the loop, if you don't break the loop, the chain will goes on and you will not get the answer. Got the point? So whenever you come across the pair with trigo and exponential, the loop goes on continuously. Okay, so if you want to break the rule, if you want to break the chain, if you want to break the loop, so what exactly you have to do? Just simply check this look like what? The exact question. So in place of this part we'll write I directly. Okay, I directly, as your integration is removed, as integration is removed, so we know that as we integrate with respect to x, so basically we write plus c. So here actually we are not integrating, we are resubstituting this value as I. So here I will not write plus c directly, I will write c1, because here little adjustment we have to do. As clearly we can see that here we have I and here also we have I, so that adjustment we have to do. So still that integration part it is remaining, as we had removed the integration section. Okay, as what exactly I did, I replaced this part by I. Okay, so now a little adjustment we have to do. So till that time, till there, I will write c1 in place of c, because here we have to do little adjustment part. So see to that, whenever you replace this part as I, don't write c directly, because here we have to do some little adjustment, because we have to bring this I to the left hand side, and then you have to solve the basic algebraical here, cross multiply all that thing. Okay, so till then I will write the section as c1 only. Okay, so therefore bracket open, will bracket open this. So cos 3x into e raised to 2x upon 2. So when you will bracket open, so 3 2 2 is 4, so 3 upon 4. Yes or no? E raised to 2x into sine 3x plus minus minus 9 upon 4 I plus c1. So we'll bring this section to the left hand side. So I plus 9 upon 4I equals to this, we can write as e raised to 2x. Yes or no? E raised to 2x, e raised to 2x upon 2 into cos 3x plus 3 upon 4 e raised to 2x into sin 3x plus c1. Okay, so when you will solve this section, cross it. So you have 4 plus 9, so this will be what? 13I upon 4 equals to e raised to 2x upon 2 cos 3x plus 3 upon 4 e raised to 2x into sine 3x plus c1. So now as exactly we have to find the answer only for I. Okay, understood? So this 4 and 13 will go down like this. 4 and 13 e raised to 2x upon 2 cos 3x plus 3 upon 4 e raised to 2x into sine 3x, yes or no, plus c1. So that c1 also will write here. Okay, as we are shifting this, no, so this 4 will go up and 13 will go down, and it will get multiplied with throughout the term. Okay, so now the next part will be what? I equals to, so this will be 2 ones are 2 twos are, so here you will get 2 upon 13 e raised to 2x into cos 3x plus 4 will get cancelled, so here we left with 3 upon 13 e raised to 2x into sine 3x plus 4 upon 13 into c1, this will be 4 upon 13 c1. And the last final step, as we required c here, so as c is what? It is an indefinite integral, and this 4 upon 13 is also what? Indefinite integral. So here let's say in place of 4 upon 13 c1, you can write directly as c. So here the final answer here, which, because this is what? Indefinite integral, so whether it is c, c1, c2, 4 upon c1, 4 upon 13 c1, let it be. Okay, both are one and the same. So whatever the indefinite integral, it is there over, no problem. Okay, so directly see to that, here don't write c directly, as here we have to do little adjustment with I. So here you write c1, then at the end the final step, you can write this 4 upon 13 c1 as c, because both are what? Indefinite integral only. So it doesn't matter whether it is 4 upon 13 c1, 4 c1, 3 c1, so it is a indefinite only. So in place of this, directly we can write as c. So 2 upon 13 e raised to 2x cos 3x, here 3 will come. Okay, plus 3 upon, yes or no, plus 3 upon 13 e raised to 2x into sine 3x, and in place of 4 upon 13 c1, I wrote c. Okay, so that's the end of the sum. If you want, you can bring this e raised to 2x upon 13 as common. So inside the bracket you will get 2 cos 3x plus 3 sin 3x. Rest you can stop your answer here. I hope you all understood this sum also, and please try the second sum by yourself. Simply this cos is replaced by what here? Sin x. So here also, whenever you come across two different pair of trigo and exponential, the loop will goes on, u into v process will goes on, the loop will continues. So if you want to break the chain, if you want to break the rule, break the loop, so what you will do, you will at a certain step, at one step, you will get the same question. So in place of that, you will write I. So when you will write I, that time only that loop will break, and you will get your further integral answer. So without breaking this rule, Without breaking this loop, you cannot solve the sum further. If you don't break the loop, so what will happen? So this the chain process, the u into will process will continues. I hope you understood the sum also. Yes or no? And I guess it is enough to understand the integral u into v rule, or we can say integration by part, as we took more than 7 to 8 example based on type number 7. So I hope you all understood the type number 7 also, and type number 7 is what it is, u into v integral. Okay, so in the next lecture we're gonna start with the new type, and type number 7, I guess it is enough, as more than 7 to 8 example we had did, and we had covered all the example based on logarithm inverse, inverse algebraical, trico exponential, each and everything. So I hope you all understood both the sum which we had did today. One is x into sine inverse, and second one is e raised to 2x into cos 3x. So in the next lecture we're gonna do the next sum. Till then, goodbye, see you in next lecture.